marijuana is a burnt offering that grants you illegal access to the spirit realm, in the second heaven where all the demons are. Just to put it as plainly as I can. Yeah. So, I mean, smoking weed, first of all, all the scriptures about sober-mindedness and vigilance, applicable here, of course. And the Bible speaks profusely against drunkenness. And let's just call a spade, right? Like, being high is a form of drunkenness.
Sure.
So if you're smoking marijuana recreationally and spiritually, like, you're trying to achieve something there that is taking you out of a sober mind, or you're using it as a crutch for me, like I was super anxious. So what marijuana did for me was that it kind of like, it leveled me out, but it really just numbed me out. I mean, it didn't make me better. It just made me numb. Like it's like an anesthetic emotionally. And the kind of like revelation I had with that, because, the Bible talks all about burnt offerings. God created the system of burnt offering as an atonement for sin. And so we know the devil counterfeits everything. So the devil has counterfeited this like burnt offering, like to these specific spirits. Like, the reason you're smoking marijuana, for me, it was anxiety. It's an offering to a spirit of anxiety. So what's happening when I'm smoking weed is I'm actually coming into agreement with anxiety, because I'm saying, like, I need this thing in order to keep this at bay. I'm identifying with it, and I'm kind of worshiping it in a way, right? And so the more I smoke, the more I need the marijuana, because the more anxious I am without it. And it's a spiritual tie there. And like how people get paranoid on weed, I always say, like, that's not paranoia, like, that's perception, because you're actually aware that you've like crossed the threshold of like the spirit realm, and now like all the demons are there. And people want to say, like, oh, Genesis 1:29, like God created the plants for us and all these things. It's like, well, come on, guys. Like, we live in a fallen creation. Like, we know this. Like, you're not putting poison berries in your oatmeal because God created berries. So it's at some point where we want to use scripture, but we want to cherry pick it and use it out of context just to kind of like justify a narrative that keeps us comfortable instead of convicted. I just did this whole stream myself on marijuana. I did like 5 reasons to stop smoking weed. And Cap, let me tell you how many people got free from that. I did a deliverance prayer at the end, and still, like, this was like 4 weeks ago, people are still flushing it. They're coming back to me with testimonies like, I've been sober ever since that stream. I've tried to quit for years. I had the deliverance prayer. It's gone. I don't even want to go back to it. And that was my story too, which is why I'm really passionate about it, is that marijuana is something I did struggle with after I got saved.
Same.
I told you, like, that first, really? Wow.
Oh yeah, big time.
It was like the first year of my walk. And then after I got baptized and delivered, like, gone.